guys, it's Teresa from the VIA Education Department, and I'm here in my mother's kitchen actually to give you another quick and easy lesson that you can do at home. Today's lesson is all about fractions. At the end of this lesson, I have a special surprise for you guys. You'll be able to do this at home as well. We are actually going to be making a snack, one of my favorite things ever to do. So just stay tuned for that. Let's get started. So what is a fraction? A fraction is basically a way to show in numbers a portion of something. That is basically what a fraction is, and I'm going to go over the different types of parts of it and what each fraction means and how we use them in the real world. So right now, I'm going to come over to the camera, and I'm going to show you this picture that I printed out. So this picture is a picture of pizza. So let's pretend that you and I have spent an entire day hiking, quarantine hiking, so we were social distancing, and while we were hiking, we were really hungry. We didn't have any lunch and we didn't eat any breakfast, so we immediately went to a pizza place and we got a pizza for both of us. You ordered a salad, I did not. You made the healthy choice, I did not. So here is our pizza right here. It's the number one. It's one pizza. As you can see, there's a 1 underneath it. And it's a sausage, pepperoni. It looks like there's sausage, pepperoni, and bacon on there. So that's a meaty pizza right there. So we are deciding while you're eating your salad how we're going to split this up between the two of us, because we're both really hungry. And so we decide to cut it right down the middle. That means that we have a half a pizza. So we went from 1, which is a whole number, number 1, to a half. That half, or that 1 and 2, is called a fraction. And it's showing a portion of it. So what do those numbers mean? So we cut it we cut it in half. We cut it there were 2 separate slices, very large slices. Here is your slice, and I already ate mine. I am just that hungry. So you have 2 actual slices available to us. So there's 2 slices, one that's gone, I already ate it, and then you have 1 of the 2 slices, 1 half, 1 out of 2. So that is basically what a fraction is. It's taking the entire portion of whatever it is that you have, how many options you have, and taking that, putting that whole number on the bottom, and then putting the portion that you actually took and putting it on the top. The top number is called the numerator. It's a numerator. The bottom number is called the denominator. And I always thought of this when I was in school as denominator meaning down, D, down denominator. So that is the down number, the number that's on the bottom. You can use that when you're trying to remember this. So our numerator is 1. It is the 1 slice that you haven't eaten yet. And the 2, which is our denominator, is the options of how many slices there were total available to us at that time. So that's a half a pizza. Now, as I said before, you would ordered a salad, so you're still eating your salad. I, on the other hand, have already eaten my half a pizza. So I am still hungry. So I want a little bit, and I ask you while you're eating your salad if I could have a little bit more of your slice of pizza. So now, how many options do we have for a slice of pizza? We have the half that I ate, the portion that's left for you, and the portion that I actually took from you. That's 3 options. So you have 3 options, which means that's out of 3 slices, which is your denominator here. That's 3, and you have 1 of the 3, which means you have 1 over 3, or 1/3. So we have 3 options for pizza: the half slice, the slice I took from yours, and your slice. And then you have 1, we're showing here 1 of the 3 slices. Okay, so that's 1 over 3, or 1/3. Now, as I said, you are still eating your salad, and I just can't take it. I am so hungry, I just take another slice. I am just that girl. I just have to take another slice. I don't even ask you. So now, how many options do you have to eat? You have the half that I ate. You have the other part that I took from your slice originally. That's 2. And then I have another slice that I took from your part. That's 3. And then of course, your actual slice here that's sitting here, that's 4. So that's 4 slices. That goes on the bottom, our total. 4 slices, and there's only one that you have in front of you. So this part here, this piece, this slice here is 1 over 4, or 1 out of 4. 1 is our numerator, and 4 is our denominator. This is often called 1/4 or 1/4. So we go from one whole number to a half, to a third, or 1/3, and 1/4 or 1/4. So that is the simplistic version of fractions and what they mean when you see them. But we actually use these fractions in everyday life a lot. So I'm going to show you how we use them, and I'm also going to show you a little thing that always got me confused as a kid learning about fractions. So I'm going to go back over here. So one of the things about fractions that's a little confusing is that unlike when you compare whole numbers, like that one that we saw with the first pizza, 1 is a whole number. When you're comparing one whole number and another whole number, you look to see which number is higher, and you say 1 is less than 2, or 2 is greater than 1, because 2 is typically greater than 1. But with fractions, it's actually a little different. So to demonstrate this, I have 4 glasses here. I also have a pitcher of blue colored water, and of course my measuring cup. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to measure out 1 cup of water, and I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to come around so you can see. This is a measuring cup. You've probably seen this in your mom or dad's kitchen, and as you can see here, on the cup, it actually indicates 1 cup, a half a cup, a third of a cup, and a fourth of a cup, which is just what we saw. I have measured out 1 cup of water, so you can see how much water is in that cup. Okay? I'm going to come back around and I'm going to fill 1 glass with a cup of water. And that's a good amount right there. Okay? Now we're going to do a half a cup. Remember that half a pizza? We're now going to do a half a cup of water. Make sure I got a half a cup there. Okay. There we go. Here's a half a cup. Look at how the difference that is. Now we're going to do a third of a cup. We're getting really small now. And a quarter of a cup. Too much. There we go. Okay. So, what I'm trying to show you here is that the denominator, or that bottom number, as it gets bigger, because we have a half, which is 2, we have a third, which is 3, we have a 4, which is fourth. 4 is the denominator. It actually gets smaller. The volume of water actually becomes smaller. So you would think that the fourth of a cup would be bigger than these guys, a third and a half, because 4 is greater than 3 and 2. But really, it's not. A fourth of a cup is less. Think of that pizza. When I took that last piece, it left you with a very small piece. So the bigger the denominator, the smaller the portion is going to be. Okay? Now, I've talked about how we use fractions a lot in our everyday life, and we do. And the biggest thing that you actually use fractions for is baking and cooking. So we're actually going to make a no-bake oatmeal bar. It's really simple, and it uses fractions. So let me get out my ingredients. You're going to need oats, 2 chocolate chips, honey, peanut butter, and you'll need a pan with some parchment paper. Okay, this is an 8x8 dish. And of course you'll need a bowl and measuring cups because we're going to measure our ingredients. So the first ingredient that we're going to put in is we're going to put 1 cup of oatmeal in it. Okay? So remember, I'm going to come over once more. Remember what we said. See how the measuring cup has a cup indicated, it has 1/3 of a cup indicated, it has a 1/2 a cup indicated, and it has a 1/4 cup or 1/4 of a cup indicated. It's all right there for you. So when you're ready to measure, you just follow these lines. Okay? All right, let's get started. All right, so we're going to do 1 cup of oats. Oats are really good for you, as I make a mess. 1 cup in the bowl. Great. Okay, so you can see here, here's our 1 cup of oats. Now we're going to do a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Now if you are allergic to peanut butter, you can always use sun butter. It's made out of sunflower seeds. That is usually allergy friendly. Or if you, in September when you go back to school, you'll be able to bring these to school with you. If you have a peanut allergy in your class, just use sun butter. All that peanut butter is going right in. And you know, you guys, you could actually do this with your parents. Just ask them for help. This is really kid friendly and they're really delicious. Okay? Now we need honey. So I have this honey here. Hold on. Okay. So we need 1/3 of a cup of honey. And I grease this measuring cup because honey is notorious to being difficult. Okay. Go. Oops. Get that honey in there. Now we need the best part, in my opinion, chocolate chips. These are mini chocolate chips. You don't have to use mini chocolate chips. And a lot of these ingredients, guys, you probably already have at home. Ask your parents. They probably have them sitting in their pantry, not even realizing it. We need 1/4 cup or 1/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Okay. Get the rest of them out. Okay, so now what do? You mix. So just mix it out like this, or clean hands. You can do what my grandmother always said, hands are the best. Just mix it with your hands, man. Let it get in all in there. So you just want to kind of get it semi-incorporated. It's a messy job. It already smells delicious. Because it's peanut butter and chocolate. It smells really good. And then you just literally, I have this with parchment paper. Parchment paper is a really great way that it actually helps with cleanup. As you can see, we messy. Also, it's a really good way to make sure things don't stick. And you're literally just gonna Put it in your bowl, in your pan. This is an 8x8 dish. Anything will do. You can also make this into balls. You can roll them into like little golf-sized balls, and you can do it that way as well. And then you're literally, I'll bring this over once you're literally just going to, kind of spread it around. They ain't pretty, but they're delicious. Just spread it around, try to get it as evenly as possible. I'm going to wash my hands really quick hand washing tutorial. Get all that stuff off me, and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? All right, ready? Dun, 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 dun. Prepared to be not amazed, but it smells delicious and they're really good. So here we go. I have to like make them a little prettier. So these should sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour to set and firm up. And like I said, if you don't want to do it this way, you can always roll them into balls between your palms. Okay? All right. So, I'm just going to quick review all about fractions. Fractions show a portion of something by using numbers. We have the numerator, which is the portion that's in front of you, and then we have the denominator, which is down, which is the bottom number. It shows the total amount of options that you have regarding portions, okay? And you can always we use fractions all the time actually, especially in baking. So I urge you guys to hang out with your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, whomever it is that you're staying with right now. Ask them if you can help in the kitchen. If you don't want to make these bars, you can make something else. You can make brownies. You can help them in the kitchen when they're cooking dinner. Ask them to help, and tell them you want to learn how to measure out ingredients. Get a measuring cup and help them out with that as well. It'll be a really fun time, and it's a really great way to learn. And bonus, you get to eat at the end. You get to eat your creation at the end and learn all about fractions. That's all I have today for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. I'm going to eat these wonderful bars, and you have a great day. See you later. Thanks, guys.
I grew up and was raised in Miners Mills. See, I wasn't going to be a high school football player. I had about 0% chance of ever going to college. Because a guy like J.P. Mack, who took me out of Plains High School and said that you could be a football player. I didn't know that. How do I know? My history would have been going work in a factory down the road. JP saw that I had some kind of potential of some sort, so that he got me actually lifting weights, which I knew nothing about. I was in 9th grade, and the season was getting ready to start. School started, and our first game was that weekend. And do you know, I actually went hunting and didn't go to football. I didn't even go to the football game. In high school, I remember my senior year coming up, and then all of a sudden, I have Division I people coming over from Syracuse, from Boston College, from Maryland, Penn State. The day of the draft came up, I remember there was a guy, they came over there and sat down. Indianapolis called him, picked me, and he said, "Congratulations, I'll see you later." Shook my hand, and out the door he went. Never saw him again. You know, I remember the first day I'm gonna sign, because I held out 2 weeks. My agent didn't want me to sign right away. Anyway, so then the second preseason game comes up. It's against the New York Giants. LT is coming off the football field at halftime, and I'm gonna go out and make an announcement that I signed. And LT goes to me, "Hey boy, come here." He goes, "I'll be back in a few weeks. Big boys play for big money." And he did. He came in 4 sacks against us. Oh, let me tell you something. He was a player. I went to Philadelphia and had a great career out there, had a good time. But you know what the best part of Philadelphia was? I was close to my home here in Wilkes-Barre. My grandfather would come out to the games, and the owners would take such good care of him. See, now these helmets I was telling you about before, they're made a little differently. See the inside of this, all the hard plastic that we had in here? The middle part right in here, that's actually concaves a little bit. You know, you have a little bit of give to it. It's not like this. It's not like this anymore. This is why concussions occur right here. You have nowhere to give it. Reggie White was probably the best defensive lineman that might have ever played the game up to this point. I'll tell you, you do not want to curse around Reggie. That's all I learned. Do not curse around Reggie. Why the owners of the team do not want the best they could possibly have for their players. You have a player here, he's selling out for you. He gave his body, he gave everything he has to this sport, to this game, and now he can't perform at a level anymore. Get rid of him? No, I don't see it that way. I want to take care of the guy, make sure he's at least healthy. If nothing else, it make you feel better at least. See, you don't want to be a kind of a guy that can't even get out of his chair. And I was there about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was in a situation where I could not physically get up and get out of this chair. What I'm saying, but I'm telling you right now, I was one step away from being in a wheelchair. But now, all of a sudden, I found out that the CBD oil could help me physically, and I might as well do it, right? You could strive to be the best you could physically, mentally, or whatever. You're all right. You don't ever want to be in a situation where you're not performing to your top of your ability. Whether it's school or whether it's track, whether it's football, baseball, no matter what it is, if you're out there performing, you want to perform at a level as high as you could possibly do it. As long as I go out there and I could put out a good effort, then I can live with myself. Don't go through the motions. Go through the motions to be the best that you could possibly be. Don't ever do this halfway deal. You want to go as hard as you could and perform at all levels.